Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I am doing a remelt of floating plastics. So it's basically a mixture of chartreuse and like a green that we do. It's coming out close to the green that we normally would do of the ooze green, mutant green. It's mutant green. Gotta think of the colors. But I'm gonna do a remelt first. So with the frogs, we have learned that we have to shoot that at a colder temperature than our normal. So we're shooting it closer to like a 300-degree mark. But first we have to melt everything. So we've got our plastics here. That's all the remelt that we're going to remelt. As you can see, you've got the green and the yellow in there. We're going to melt that down and then we'll shoot it. Now this stuff was in the microwave for 3 minutes. So it melted everything down. You see it's a liquid. Pretty color. But it is a little bit hot compared to what we're trying to shoot at. I'll show you the heat right now. It's at 320 right now. So the best way to cool it down kind of faster instead of having to sit here and wait forever, because it stays pretty warm for quite some time, is you just kind of take your butter knife is what we use and just stir it. Stirring it, agitating it, definitely causes it to cool down faster. Yes, I should have 2 gloves on because this stuff is hot. It will burn you if you touch it, but I typically work with 1 glove. So you just kind of stir. I know it's going to take a little bit of stirring because it was quite a bit higher than I want it to be. I want it anywhere between like 280 to 300. That's just a cooler temperature, because with the frogs, they have a very thin, oddly angled foot. And it seems when you shoot it at a hotter temperature, because it shrinks as it cools down, it causes the foot to get holes in it or deformities. The cooler it is, the less shrinkage, the more likely you get a good shot out of it. That's at least what we have found with that bait. We're down to 303 now. So we're getting closer. I'm actually going to try to bring it a little lower than 300. But 300 is about the hottest I want to shoot it at. It doesn't guarantee you don't end up with duds, but it saves you a little bit of that dud aspect. Because, yeah, you can remelt the stuff, but who wants to have to keep on remelting? So we're down to 297. So I'm going to stir it for about another second here, and then we will go ahead and shoot the bait. We only have 1 mold of that bait, so literally we melt this down for 1 shot no matter what. Kind of good when you're going this cool, because it will get hard in the injector before you're done injecting, if you're doing too many. So it's a clean, clear injector. We don't need the whole thing filled up, but that's just what I do. And then nice steady pressure down. Apply a little more pressure at the very end just to make sure it's good and full. And then we can put the rest of it back into there so it doesn't all go hard. Now you want to make sure the sprue stays full, so as it shrinks you're going to make sure you pour some more in so it stays full. Because if you don't keep it full, you're going to get air bubbles. So keep it nice and full. It hasn't really shrunk, but I'm just going to put a little bit more up at the top because I don't want to risk it shrinking too much. Again, that foot issue. Now, see, because I shot it cooler, it's not shrinking like it normally would. Normally, I would have been filling it up quite a bit. I don't even think it's shrunk at all, but like I said, I'm just trying to make sure that sprue does not go lower. It all is remeltable, so it's okay if you put it there. Again, this is still hot, so make sure you still have approved gloves on. These are gloves we bought from the bait websites. So they are strong, like they're PPE gloves. You're not going to burn your hand with them. Again, this is the floating Plastisol, so it actually will float. I usually take that and peel it off before I open up the mold. It's pretty cooled down. The nice thing about shooting at that cold of a temperature is this mold is not that hot, because it gets pretty hot. We want to get an air clamp and multiple of these molds, so it'll save a lot of time. Now, I try to open this one slow because of the feet, because they get stuck. And I don't want to just rip them out. Because I think we're at more risk of damage then. Then I always loosen the feet up before I actually take it out. And then we can pull that out. So there's our frogs. They look pretty good from here. You're always going to get a little bit of damage, I think, in the toes. Just a little bit. It's just unavoidable. But this is much better at a cool temperature than what we were getting. This, you just missed the very corners of the feet, where before they were just full-on holes. But it's got the silver and the black flake in there. Not bad looking baits there. And that's what the molds look like. Just, that's where the sprue is. And it goes to each of the molds. So, we're going to go ahead and shoot another round. I will check the temperature before I heat it up, because we might not have to melt it. See, now this is at 239. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, see, at 239, you can see how it kind of is a lot thicker. Not going to work out very well. It's going to go hard before we get there. So, what we're going to do is heat that up about 30 seconds. And it's right around our temperature that we want it at. It's at 306, so just a little bit of stirring. Also gets all that glitter from the bottom. When you have glitter in it, I notice if you don't stir it, you're going to end up with a shot with barely any glitter because it all sunk to the bottom. Now, we can shoot that. You don't want to go too fast. You don't want too much pressure on it. Just enough. And then you do that. Now we're just going to watch our sprue, make sure it's filled up. And that's just what you keep on doing. Like, you notice we're getting low on the bait in the cup. So the sprues and the stuff that we've pulled from the injector, that can get remelted down until you've gotten down to next to nothing. And then you are done with that color. And then we gotta open her up. There we go. And there's our frogs. So they come on the sprue, which is this piece here, and then it shoots into each one of the individual molds to make the frogs. So that's the frog. It's hard to see, but it's like a silver and black glitter inside there. And a nice neon type green. We call it the mutant green, ooze green. It reminds us of like the green of the Ninja Turtles ooze. It's a very unique green, but it works really well for us. It's a slightly lighter variation of that ooze green though, because we do have that chartreuse in there, instead of it just being solid green. So there you have it, guys. We did the floating mutant green frogs with a remelt. Like I said, it wasn't 100% the mutant green we normally do. It was a remelt. But that's how we do a remelt. That's how you melt down the stuff. That's how you test the temperatures. You shoot it. You pull it out. That's some of the precautions we take to try to get a good bait out of it instead of a bad bait. Not bad. Not hard. Just a little bit time consuming. Make sure you have a fan going while you are doing this, because the Plastisol is not safe to breathe in. Make sure you don't burn the Plastisol, because that's really not safe to breathe in. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little bit. Have a great day.